New York. So it's a big story. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Sean Ibrahim to the studio. Good evening, Sean.
Good evening.
I was going to say good morning there today. I was a bit confused through the one. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so for those listening, we'd just like to outline what all this tour is all about and how it got started.
Well, it got started probably about 18 years ago when my oldest son was playing, and he went to Russia and met these Americans, and we made friends. And we've been doing a sort of biannual thing, not every time, but quite regular. We've done it about 16 times, I think. We've gone to America, they've come over here, and then there's been a gap, and then we resurrected this sort of thing very recently in Sheffield. Last year we went to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and New York. I took a group of 80. And
brilliant.
It was over Christmas, so it was like a kid's dream, really. You're in New York, Christmas, you're going to play hockey.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve at the rink, countdown to midnight. We were treated spectacularly.
How did they get on in terms of results? Or was it all more about that?
It was a learning curve.
so.
But it was a great learning curve because they came back, and these kids went on to win the British Nationals. So these 10-year-olds, they cut their teeth in America, and they came back. And they came back a different team. I think they've picked up every trophy they've entered for. So they're a good side in this country, and they learnt a lot of this over in America. They made a lot of friends in America. As I say, these guys really wanted to come back and sort of reciprocate. And everybody was quite disappointed when there was talk of it being cancelled. And we just said, no, we'll try and do something. We'll make it work somehow. And that's what we've been doing ever since, and things have been falling into place.
So how have you managed to get things rolling and get them? Was it charity work, raising money, just getting awareness?
Awareness. Once people are aware, they do want to help. I mean, there's a lot of good people out there. The Sheffield Scimitars Academy have helped. They've donated £400 towards ice time. A lot of other clubs have been helping. We've got this fabulous venue, Ice Sheffield. They've been tremendously helpful with whatever they could do. There's been officials from other clubs that have been chipping in. Then, of course, we've got from America, we've got some friends who've helped donate things. If you're into ice hockey, we've got Rob Screwdry from the Pittsburgh Penguins, who've just won the Stanley Cup in June. He's got a nice photo of him holding the Stanley Cup above his head, and he donated his baseball cap that he's wearing in that picture.
Awesome.
He's autographed it. We've got people from Manchester United who've donated memorabilia, and then there's a lot of other things being in. So we've got some great raffles. In theory, they're worth a fortune, but
And as you say, obviously people can come along the games for free as well, which is brilliant. Obviously they start next week on the 16th.
There's a series of 15 games. The first one kicks off on the 16th of July at 5:45. It's a kids game. It'll be a tens game. It'll be New York versus Sheffield Scimitars. The next one will be on the Friday the 17th, same time, but this time it'll be the 12-year-olds. And then the tour, we go on tour to Manchester. On the Sunday, that's the big day if the families want to come down. On the Sunday, from 2 o'clock onwards through to about 10:30 at night, there are 7 games in a row. And the last game will be a feature game with the men. The men's game will feature Ron Shudra, if anyone, if you're familiar.
I'm sure the ice hockey fans out there will know who he is.
Ron Shudra of Sheffield Steelers and Sheffield Scimitars. He'll be putting on his pads and skating out. So there's a lot of things going on. So I mean that's sort of somewhere where we're at the moment. And of course this great support from America with the news team over there. They're intrigued that hockey even exists in this country. But which is another reason why we're doing it. We're doing it to, apart from giving these Americans a great time, which is obviously the number one thing, the other thing that we're trying to achieve with all this is actually bring the crowds back into hockey, because let's face it, we're going for a recession, and if we can get more people in, more families to these free events, hopefully their kids will want to come and skate, and some of them will end up playing hockey. So, it's a win-win situation if we achieve that.
Obviously, there are some brilliant facilities here in Sheffield, so
my friend is one of the highest coaches in America, and he says that's the best venue he's ever seen.
Really?
Obviously they're the big arenas, but they're dedicated. But this is just for purely for enhancement of the skating facility at Sheffield, for the figure skaters, the speed skaters, and of course the ice hockey teams. And of course the teams say it all. I think at every age group we're in the top 3 or 4 in the country. That says a lot. And of course the Sheffield Steelers themselves are British champions as well.
And obviously, if you come down, you're going to see a good game between these guys as well, aren't you?
Yes. It's a fabulous way. I think it's the first weekend of the summer holidays. And of course you want somewhere to take the kids, you want somewhere that's not going to cost a fortune.
That's perfect, especially that weekend on the Sunday where you can just spend all day watching ice hockey, I suppose.
You don't even, if you've never seen ice hockey, why not come and have a look? And if you're an ice hockey fan, there's lots of great stuff down there. Like I say, we've got Ron, we've got some great prizes, lots of great things, and in the field next to it there'll be events going on. There'll be some football and I don't know, bits and bobs going on outside. So there'll be activities all day long. So it's a really good thing, and of course it's a great thing for our kids because it's, for some of these kids, it's a once in a lifetime thing. They might not do it again, and the friends they make now, you never know where it'll end up.
Well, exactly. Obviously it's a chance for these kids to test themselves against their equivalent sort of best in America, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Which is where obviously the sport's a lot more closer to number one than it is in this country, for example.
Yeah, and of course I'm taking these American kids and they're getting to see, in theory I'm taking them to Manchester United, which that could be an eye-opener for them. It's just interesting to see the two different cultures, but that's the idea. We got the same language, we got the same sport, slightly different accents, but we all like the same things, and I think that's what the kids are going to find out and enjoy. So I really think it's a good event. So like I say, if you want to come along and help us and give some medals out or something, you'd be more than welcome as well.
Oh, brilliant! And we're just discussing our first, but it can get a little physical as well in the kids' games as well as the adults one.
They have their moments, and my boy is not any different. I think I think he takes the most penalties in the team at the moment.
Well, that's an award I'm supposed to be sort of proud of.
Yeah. So
most bookings in football, most red cards.
But I know you said it's a fast sport, and TV doesn't show it off that well.
Doesn't do it justice, does it? Because I can never see the puck. He shoots, and you think, where? I can't see it.
You have to come down and see. It's a strange thing. You've got to come down and see it, and like I say, it is a proper family sport. You will see a full cross section and a cross section of ages. So it obviously presses the right buttons for people.
Definitely so, and obviously ice hockey is getting more popular in Sheffield because I go to the Ponds Forge gym, and I'm not so sure if they've still got it now, but at least a couple of months ago they had a big cardboard cutout of the Scimitars, 3 of the players. I think, was it Ben Morgan, the youngster who was in the England setup? He was on there. So you wouldn't have seen that 5 years ago, not a chance.
No. Well, yes, it's under new management and it's really taken off, and obviously with the right promotion, obviously even in this day and age with things going on right now, it's an attractive sport. It's affordable for fans. It's it's not a cheap sport for the kids, I'm afraid, but we have to start somewhere, and obviously for me, if the advantage is the kids surround themselves with winners and leaders. And if you think of it that way, they're in a good environment.
Builds qualities, doesn't it?
It does, and of course, if they mix with kids from around the world, their eyes are opened, and they surround yourself with good people. You'll end up being a good person.
Excellent. So if anybody wants to find out about the full catalogue of fixtures, is there anywhere in particular we should go to, or a phone number perhaps?
Well, the Ice Sheffield website has got some information. I guess you can... I haven't got a website, I'm afraid, but I can give you a number if you want a phone number.
Yeah, well, if you could give it anybody who's interested.
Okay, it's 07967 009 749.
And we'll repeat that towards the end of the show as well.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, and for those who just tuned in, I would say if you want to see some brilliant ice hockey, it starts in the 16th of July, which is next week, 5:45. New York Titans junior team taking on those from Sheffield, and then the big event is next Sunday, where you've got ice hockey all day, and it's all taking place at Ice Sheffield and for free, and you can win some brilliant prizes. So thanks a lot for coming in, Sean, and telling us about that.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Okay, we're going to have some What's a Automatic, and then it's time for the World Football Headlines.